Good afternoon. I'm representing my own company, Ashley's Chapter Food and Beverages. I'm Ashley Chong, the local food and beverages artist. Okay.
你还没有讲完啊。After that，
After that 还要拉远去是吧？
拉远去
过后我就 greet 你那种是
就讲你怎么选这个地方
那个时候是拉远去了的时候是吧？
已经拉远去怎么你要选这个地方，然后一讲完了就戴口罩了。
OK， 所以我一介绍完了，他就慢慢拉我
慢慢拉回去。
过后我就跟你讲。
是，可是你拉回去的时候，就是你开始要讲，周末你要选这个地方。一讲完周末你选这个地方，你讲你要看我那个 video 吗？是，你要戴回口罩去。
OK。所以我直接
现在讲周末你选这个地方先咯。
OK，so 我先看你嘛。
你应该是看那行啊冇，因為講其中一成嘅地方嘛，應該看那行成張咯看那行成張。
Okay，so the reason why I choose this place is because it's comfortable and it's with air condition. Compared to other places that I've been, it's always very sweaty and hot, and I even have a decent smell after I left the place. So, good afternoon, Mr. Chong.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Thank you for taking your time here for this interview with me. So, I've watched your video regarding the environmental solution for food and beverages.
Thank you.
Yeah. I realized that the shop that you visited, even though the shop is with air conditioning, but the surrounding temperature wasn't comfortable, and I can feel that it's a bit warm, and even at certain places, I've been sweating a lot.
Okay. Those is quite a common practice, local practice, and the business owner. Mostly locals, business owner on the F&B, normally they will either start off to appoint an architect or an interior designer. Let's say the owner appointed an interior designer, so normally they will inclusive a main contractor, including an aircon contractor and a kitchen supplier. Okay, but however, most of these aircon contractor with the kitchen supplier do not have the skill, experience, knowledge, and the balancing of the principle. So example, if we refer to the video that you mentioned to me on the dining area, where the steaming section, they do not have the proposed makeup air, and then do not even have a proposed exhaust out of the air, just using two exhaust fan. So with other elements that will cause the dining area is not working properly in the performing of the air conditioning system.
So referring to the steaming area, there are steamer and coffee making machine area whereby heat generates is very high. So how do you settle this issue?
Actually, for the coffee making area, it's the same issue that they do not have any exhaust. They also do not have any makeup air. So this is one of the cause of making the area to be very heaty. As well, they should even have, if you ask me, have a second option. They can using the evaporative cooler system. So that will be the solution for them.
Okay. So for the bakery room, there are steamers and fridges. I can feel that the heat is very much more higher than the dining area. So how do you settle this issue? Will the heat flow to the dining area?
Actually, first of all, the bakery section, the kitchen supplier, actually there's two types of application. One, we call it the kitchen supplier. Another, we call it the kitchen equipment consultant. So what is the difference between a kitchen supplier and a kitchen equipment consultant? So kitchen supplier, it means that just like local, where they supply the kitchen equipment. Okay, kitchen equipment consultant, where they have a group of expertise and with an engineer, where they obtain the information from the client. Then from there, they even know how to plan for the whole kitchen for the owner. So it means that they know how to build. But mostly in KK, the local here is most of them are kitchen supplier. So they have no ideas how to make the kitchen work in order, function in order. So if I refer to the question you posed to me, first, the exhaust fan they are using, first they are using the wrong application. Number two, the fan they are using is more to the lower grade, where they do not have a proper CFM and the water gauge. So what do you mean of CFM? Based on our engineering, fan we are based on CFM, it stands for cubic feet per minute. It means that 1 minute how many cubics of air they can extract. And then what is a water gauge? Water gauge is just like you have a car, you own a car. So when the car drive the speed to push forward, it means that in how much of horsepower. If the car go uphill, we are talking about the torque. So it's same to a fan that what is the horsepower and what is the torque. So for this fan they are using, there is low horsepower. If you use the car terms, it means low horsepower, low torque. So it doesn't work at all. And further than that, it can be applied the evaporative system into the kitchen. What do you mean of evaporative cooler system? It means that a system that he extract the outside air, he reduce the temperature and supply into the kitchen. So whatever in the kitchen, whatever you supply fresh air into the kitchen, you must able have the application formula designed to extract out from the kitchen. So it means that whatever you extract out from the kitchen, you must supply the replacement air into the kitchen. But the old fashion is whatever they extract the outside air. If the outside temperature is 36, 37, if you go back to the kitchen, the temperature even more worse. So that is a situation.
Okay, so as far as per my knowledge, most kitchen area are very humid, wet, smoky, and all the kitchen supporting staff are very sweaty, especially the chefs. Because they are nearest to the cooking range, I feel very pity to them, as that particular area is the hottest of all. So do you have any way to solve the problem for them?
Yeah, I think you have posed me a good question, because most of the business owner, F&B owner, normally they will engage, they do not believe, will engage a group of professional people to plan ahead for them. So what do you mean that you need to engage a group of professional people to plan for you? Example, if you have selected a shop that you like to start off your F&B, so you engage or appoint an architect or an interior designer, as I earlier mentioned. As well, you need an M&E consultant. Okay, as well you need a kitchen equipment consultant. You also need us who are specialized on the kitchen, the air balancing. It means the positive, the negative, as well to look into the temperature change. It means that whatever I extract out, I supply the replacement air in, that bringing another new technology that when the replacement air into the kitchen, ensure that air is being reduced. So those people who work in the kitchen will not have this problem, the heat, the humid inside the kitchen. So that will be the proper way to solve the problem they face in the kitchen.
Okay, so I found that those exhaust chimney were installed high up to the air, and wouldn't it be this kind of design a very disturbance to other owners that are staying at the upper floor?
Yes, the answer is sure will affect to the people who stay in the upper floor, because in our local KK city here, most of the food and beverage owner that do not install the aerostatic air cleaner in their kitchen. Normally, whatever they generated in the heat, if they discharge on the 5th floor, the heat will also channel on the 5th floor, including the smell and the oil. So this is the effect to the upper floor.
So how effective can this kind of design work, the high chimney versus the electrostatic air cleaner?
Okay, if let's say the F&B owner have selected to use the electrostatic air cleaner into their outlet, so it means they do not need to channel all the way to the 5th floor, because that if the kitchen need to channel to the 5th floor, normally you have a very strong fan to push all the way to the 5th floor. So when you use this one, first it will the owner need to invest a fan have the capacity, so that is a cost. And number two, if you let's say you replace by an air cleaner, you can have a lower capacity on the fan, and then you have a lower maintenance, and then inclusive the duct size can reduce, so to ensure that the duct will not eaten up the ceiling space. Okay, and number four, it also reduces the electric consumption. So it's very important that the owner can foresee the old traditional way of the exhaust system and the new system on the air cleaner apply into the kitchen.
Okay, so will the oil stain and smoke remain inside the duct and external concrete wall along the chimney? How to solve this kind of problem?
Okay, yes, for sure. For the old conventional system, whatever you do the cooking, sure the oil will remain inside the ducting, or you call it the chimney, and even actually the oil actually will even cover up the exhaust fan, the fin. So naturally, it's a matter of time where all the oil will block off the ducting, and then the fan will increase the capacity to pull out, and even whatever discharge out from the exhaust, the oil stand will be standard all around in the building. But if you apply an air cleaner, so it can able to treat the oil, to collect the oil inside the air cleaner. But bear in mind, the F&B owner must get the right advice, example either from the M&E consultant or like us who specialize on the kitchen, that the air cleaner, how many percent they can able to filter the cooking oil. Some are 87%, some are 90%, some are 95%, so that the owner must engage the right consultant, the M&E consultant, or like us who do the kitchen specialist, to give him the right advice. So from there, this problem will be solved.
I found that there are a lot of exhaust channels dripping oil along the joints, and those drip oils are dark in color and slippery. Actually, it causes danger to public who are passing by the walkway.
Yes, it is common in our city, because the first of all is our city hall do not have a clear direction, and inclusive the law is not clear. It means that in certain building, I mean in a same common shopping mall, or even in a common shop lot, the city hall do not give a clear bylaw or a clear answer that this building, what percentage the filter need to be used, and is it compulsory this building must all use air cleaner, and what is the guideline. So the city hall do not have a clear guideline for the developer as well for the mall or for the hotel. So the oil dripping, as long as the city hall do not have a clear guideline, this problem will continue.
Yeah, and also one thing that I don't really like, I need to be very careful for all the time, is either I pass through the kitchen or going to their toilet, their floor is always very slippery.
The answer, the problem is because our city hall, the lack of the enforcement and the consistency, persistency, as well they do not have a clear bylaw that the compliant, the owner need to be compliant.
So, based on your experiment, how can you help them to overcome this kind of issue?
This thing is need the government to lead the team, like example like the City Hall, the Jabatan Kesehatan, the DOE, to update their bylaw, and then also lack of the enforcement. So this is the things that is all the related local government and the agency that they need to update their law, and then persistency on their enforcement.
So based on your past experience, do the local government and those local F&B owners have any knowledge regarding the benefit of kitchen electrostatic air cleaner?
No, because some of the country, our nearby country, where the City Hall or the Environment Department, they have spelled out very clear the bylaw and the enforcement that if you start out with F&B, the government has said this is the compliant, you must comply, and this is the guideline. After you install, you must comply the service maintenance. But we don't have, so that is a problem we are facing.
Yeah. So, how it functions, able